Hello, Namaskar, good evening. I hope all of you are doing well. If you are doing well, please type well in the chat. And I'm very, very excited today to bring you this very important session that we are going to do for ISI. Okay. So I am personally very, very excited. I hope each of you are excited as well. So let's get into it. ओके तो आज का सेशन है ISI MSQE स्ट्रेटजी सेशन. ओके और आज हम लोग बात करने वाले हैं हाउ मोस्ट ऑफ द स्टूडेंट्स प्रिपेयर ISI इन द रॉन्ग वे. Prepare for ISI in the wrong way. Okay. Today we are going to reveal few key factors. We are going to reveal few key factors. We are going to reveal what the actual papers show, what the past papers show, and how you should tweak your own preparation in order to ensure that you get the most out of this ISI MSQE entrance examination. So, first things first, namaste everyone. A very warm welcome, and I hope that this session will bring some clarity into how to prepare and how to approach the ISI MSQE entrance examination. Okay, so first things first. Number one, we have a best friend called our mobile phones. Let's put our mobile phone either on silent or aeroplane mode. Okay. Secondly, keep an open mind. Okay, keep an open mind and try to absorb everything that I tell you, because whatever I share today is with my own experience and with pitfalls that I have observed over the years. And number three, there will be questions, but the entire session is made in a way that it's like a jigsaw puzzle. Okay. uh, Initially it'll seem like isolated pieces, but slowly everything will come very beautifully together to reveal an amazing picture. Okay, even after we do the entire session, if you have any questions, I'll be happy to take it up at the end as well. So there will be a Q&A session at the end, so just wait for that as well. Okay, so before we start, I want to know what kind of what kind of a preparation are you having right now? Type A preparation is currently you are concentrating on all the MCQs from PA and you are practicing wholeheartedly. And type B in the chat, when you have actually sat down and written full PB answers. Or just type C when you are looking to start now. Okay. You're looking to start now, right? Either ways, it is important for me to know, because ultimately it will be very easy for me to understand what kind of a situation your preparation is in. Okay. So it'll be very nice to just know what kind of situation are you guys in. Okay. People in the chat are saying B, A. Okay. Mm, practicing a lot of um, PA questions. PB questions, great. So many of you here in this Zoom session, especially, many of you are putting that, okay, A. So most of you are saying A, that is how you are preparing. Um, and that's exactly a problem. And I want to talk about that today. Why A is a problem. So most of the students preparing for ISI MSQE are preparing for the wrong examination. Okay. They spend weeks on MCQ practice. They do 200 PA questions. They feel confident going in the actual examination. And then they wonder why didn't they make it. Today I'm going to show you exactly why that happens and what the papers actually tell us, right? And why this is a mistake. So I'll talk about three myths today. I'll talk about three myths to start off with. Myth one: PEA is the main examination. Okay. PEA is not the main examination. PEA is simply the qualifying examination. I'll call PEA the qualifying examination, and PEB is the examination that will get you the admission into ISI. Okay. The weightage on PA and PB is not equal, right? If you prepare 80% of the time on PA, you are preparing for the lower weighted section ultimately and ignoring the section that decides your ultimate chance of getting into ISI. Okay. At this juncture, I'd like to ask, do you really know what is the weightage of PA and PB in the ISI MSQE entrance examination? Do you know what is the weightage? It's a important question. Do you know what is the weightage of PA and PB? Okay, I'll get into that in some time. So let me list down the myths first and I'll explain why am I saying what I'm saying. Myth number two: I'll choose easier groups in PB. Till the year 2023, there were a lot of options in ISI PEB. There were three groups A, B, and C, each having three questions. You would have to do only four out of these 9 questions. Pick one from each section and do any one from any section. So total 4 questions. You had to attempt minimum one from each section, where one of the section would be math and stat, one would be micro, and the other would be macro. But this older format no longer exists. From 2024, PB is giving 5 questions and all compulsory. No choice. So you cannot dodge mathematics or microeconomics or say statistics. That safety net has been removed. Okay. That's myth number two. Myth number three, I'm getting to that. Myth number three: strong economics is good enough. Strong economics is good enough. Data from multiple years of papers shows that mathematics, if ISI would be a train, okay, train has basically two different classes. I'll call it first class and second class. In the first class, I would have mathematics and statistics. And even though it's a master's in economics, the second class would have the economics as a subject. You'll understand that ISI is a very math and stat heavy paper. Okay. And most of the things, even in economics, is done by a lot of mathematical derivations. And a good knowledge of math is extremely important for you to be able to crack even economics questions. So I'll call, if ISI is a train, math and stat go first class, and economics only goes in the second class. Okay. So economics is basically just a supporting subject. So three myths. PA is the main examination. It's a myth. PB will determine whether you qualify in the actual examination, whether you get admission or not. Okay. Myth two, I will only target the easier groups in PEB. That option is now no longer available. And myth number three, strong economics is more than enough. No. Maths goes first class and economics goes second class in this examination. Okay. Now, um, at this juncture, I would like to ask, do you exactly know what is the final score formula? What is the final score formula for ISI MSQE entrance examination? Why did I say that PB is more important? Final score formula is as follows: 1 multiplied by the score of PEA plus 3 multiplied by the score of PB is your end score, which will give you a rank. Okay. I'll talk about the final score and how selection happens, the selection criteria in ISI MSQE in just a bit. So, this is how the final score happens, and hence I was emphasizing why PA is not the main examination. It's actually 75% of the weightage of the final score is on the PB score. It's 3 times to the score of PA. Okay. Anyway, so we'll come into the structure of the examination first. We'll go step by step. This part would normally be clear with most of you. The structure of the examination is basically two parts, the PA and PB. PEA would have 30 MCQs. PB would, I would expect to have 5 subjective questions. Okay, each 24 marks. 30 MCQs each, giving you +4 for every correct. 1 mark for a question which is unattempted. So if you leave the entire paper, you'll get 30. So anyone getting a score lower than 30, it's like saying that you would have been better off leaving the entire paper. Okay. 1 for every unattempted and 0 for wrong attempts. Okay. So here also in PEA, total marks is 120. In PB also total marks is 120. Final score I have already put down. Now, why is PA also important? So, ISI examination is taken by thousands of students. Okay. Now, for all the students first, the PEA score is calculated. For all the students, the PEA score is calculated. And the top 150 out of these thousands whose PA score is the highest, the top 150 PEA scores would basically determine the cutoff. Top 150 PA scores would determine the cutoff for PA. So 150 students are selected from their PA scores. Only for this 150 is the PB corrected. So for all the remaining, PB is not even checked. It's thrown. Okay. For people who are not qualifying the PA, their PB is not even checked. So only for the top 150 students who are scoring well in PA, their PB is checked. Okay. And ultimately, they take out a merit list of 60 students. They take out a merit list of 60 students whose final score, the top 60 students out of 150 students, whose final score would be 1 into PA plus 3 into PB. So what is happening is, सबने ISI MSQE का एग्जामिनेशन दिया, उसमें से टॉप 150 हाईएस्ट स्कोरर्स ऑफ पीए आर सिलेक्टेड, बाकियों का पीबी इज नॉट इवन चेक्ड. सो टॉप 150 को सिलेक्ट किया, उनका पीबी करेक्ट हुआ, एंड ईच ऑफ दीज 150 get a final score. What is the final score? 1 into PA plus 3 into PB. This is the final score for all the 150 people. Then, basis this score, top 60 students are released in the merit list of ISI. Total seats कितने हैं? Total seats are 56. 56 seats are there. Okay. 21 and 35. 35 in ISI Delhi, 21 in ISI Kolkata. And out of that, general category में होंगे 21 seats. Total. Out of 56, 21 seats are in the general category. ठीक है? So only the top 150 students from PA get their PB corrected. Of those 150, only the top 60 make it to the final merit list. Total MSQE seats are 56, 35 in ISI Delhi, 21 in ISI Kolkata. Roughly 1 in every 2.5 shortlisted students actually get in. Okay. You need to clear PA to get your PB seen, but your PB is what actually decides whether you get in or not. Okay. So the marking rule most of the students miss. In PA, an unattempted question gives you 1 mark, a wrong gives you 0. तो बहुत स्टूडेंट्स को ऐसा लगता है अरे कोई नेगेटिव ही नहीं है, सब कुछ मार्क अपने करते चले जाते हैं. प्लीज अंडरस्टैंड, अनअटेम्प्टेड आपको 1 मार्क दे रहा है, रॉन्ग आपको 0 दे रहा है. सो देयर इज अ सॉर्ट ऑफ अ नेगेटिव इंसेंटिव टू answering a question which you don't have any idea of. Okay, so leaving a question blank will be better than pure guesswork. But if you are able to eliminate 2 options out of 4, अगर आप 2 option out of 4 eliminate कर देते हो, and you need to take a chance between any 2 options in the MCQ part, take it. Take it. Because the return is +4 and it can go to 0. Right? And आपके पास में 2 option है. So the expected score is higher. The expected score is 50-50, 50% for +4 and 50% for 0. So the expected score is 2, which is greater than unattempted, which is only 1. So if you are confused between any 2 options in the ISI, MSQE, PA part, please attempt the question. Okay. This can make a difference of 5 to 8 marks ultimately. And this can be the difference between shortlisted PA or not shortlisted. Okay. यहां पर आई वुड लाइक टू थ्रो ओपन अ क्वेश्चन कि कौन से कैंपस को आप प्रिफर करेंगे, द आईएसआई दिल्ली कैंपस और द आईएसआई कोलकाता कैंपस. कुछ तो रिसर्च वर्क आपने खुद से कर रखा होगा. सो कौन से कैंपस आप प्रिफर कर रहे हैं? कैन यू प्लीज पुट इट इन द चैट. Can you please put it in the chat? Calcutta, Delhi. Okay. Calcutta, Calcutta. Okay. See, both are amazing places to go to. Whatever you choose, you can't go wrong. Okay. Now, we'll get into the next segment of today's session now. I'll talk about the past year question paper pattern and data that we have observed over the years. So we'll first talk about PEA strategy. PEA में कंज्यूमर थ्योरी बहुत पूछा जाता है. Okay, it's the most consistent single topic. Okay, it can comprise from 20 to 25% of the entire 30 questions. अगर आप ISI का 2025 का पेपर देखोगे, there are 6 questions out of the 30 that are only from consumer theory. Okay, फिर mathematics में I'll talk about calculus and linear algebra. Calculus and linear algebra can be a mixed bag. कभी कभी बहुत सारे questions आ जाएंगे और कभी कभी बहुत कम questions आएंगे. So it's a wild card. I'll say it is 18 to 30%. Okay. Right. Macroeconomics. Again, solo and ISLM is always there. Along with intertemporal choice, they are putting under macro somehow. Okay. They love intertemporal choice. This is again 20 to 23% of the paper. Statistics and probability. And I'm talking about probability distributions and probability basically. That will comprise 15 to 17% of the paper. Okay. And if I take econometrics also separately, in the recent years, they're asking 2 questions, 3 questions, basically 8 to 10% is also leaning towards basic econometrics. Okay, so this is basically the PA pattern that has been observed over the years, especially in the recent years. This is what is seen. Okay, and it's important for you to note these things down. So when I talk about pattern number 1, let me erase this and then I'll go into each individual topics. Okay, so सबसे पहला important PA pattern I've said is consumer theory, and I call it the anchor in your preparation. Okay, what is important? Corner solutions. They don't like to use the regular Lagrange of MUX by MUY is equal to PX by PY. They'll invariably give you corner solutions. They love to give you lexicographic ordering, non-convex utility functions, Slutsky and Hicks substitution effects and income effects. Okay, they love warp from revealed preference, violation. These topics are appearing in every single PA. It comes in every year. So it'll be very foolish of you to look at only the regular utility functions. Okay. So if you are not solid on consumer theory, you are leaving the most reliable marks on the table. So this is a topic which is the anchor and cannot leave this at any point of time. So what to cover? Corner solutions and interior solutions. When do they arise? So these are a few concepts to be kept in mind when it comes to consumer theory. When do corner solutions happen? And when do interior solutions happen? This understanding is important. Lexicographic preferences and how to deal with them. What does it mean exactly? And how to find out the optimal solution in lexicographic ordering. Non-convex utility or non-convex preferences. When does a consumer choose extremes? Number 4, income effect and substitution effect. Slutsky decomposition, Giffen goods. What is the income effect in a Giffen good, inferior good? Weak axiom of revealed preference. They love to ask you whether this is violated or not. Okay. So that's about consumer theory, which I call the anchor for your PEA section, and as well as PEB. We'll come to that also in a while. Pattern number 2, mathematics. Okay. Some years, mathematics has featured a lot of calculus and linear algebra. Other years, they have also focused on areas like progressions, sequence series, maxima and minima. So it can go up minimum 25%. It can go up to 37% when statistics forms a slightly smaller part in the 15 MCQ out of the 30 part. You cannot treat maths any area as optional. Okay. That would be the single biggest mistake. Okay. What are the important areas that are seen consistently? Number 1, calculus, limits, continuity, differentiability, convexity, concavity, maxima, minima. Number 2, linear algebra. They love matrices and determinants. Eigenvalues have also been seen. Vector spaces question has also come in the past, and obviously matrices and determinants. And they like this also, series and sequence. Okay. Convergence, divergence. Okay. That's about mathematics. Probability and econometrics. So probability is a pain point for most of the students, right? But probability, you can expect 3 to 4 MCQs from probability every year. Okay. And that is approximately 12 to 16 marks in PA. That's a lot. Okay. What do they like in probability? They love Bayes theorem, which I have quite categorically proved that you don't have to do by Bayes theorem. You can do by common sense and by logic also. You'll also get conditional probability questions. You'll get correlation and covariance questions from statistics. Okay. And these are actually not hard to prepare. Apart from that, something that is a pain point for many students is probability distribution. Okay. Now, there is a wild card of econometrics, which has slowly featured in ISI. Okay. It was near zero in earlier years, but now consistently you can expect two questions from easy econometrics. Okay. What comes normally? OLS properties. Okay. R square, slope correlation, variance relationship. Okay. It is not very big and it's very high on investment. If you invest your time in knowing econometrics, you would have already prepared this for IIT, JAM, and GATE, especially for CUET. Also, a few questions have started appearing in the recent years. So I'm sure you would have already prepared for econometrics. So now just put in the last straw. Just make sure that for ISI also you are well prepared for these easy enough areas. All right. So one area of advice at the end for PA, you should lock consumer theory, solo model, and probability. Then add as much as mathematics as your time allows. And remember, if you can eliminate even one option, okay, then it is worth if you know a little bit about the question. दो क्वेश्चन को एलिमिनेट अगर आपने दो ऑप्शन को अगर आपने एलिमिनेट कर दिया तब तो डेफिनेटली अटेम्प्ट करना है क्वेश्चन. ओके, सो दैट्स इट. Now, can you put it in the chat box? Which topic are you most underprepared for? I have shared a few topics. Please put it in the chat. Which topic are you most underprepared for in ISI PEA? Is it microeconomics? Is it mathematics? Is it probability? Is it econometrics? Drop it in the chat. I'll take a look at your responses. Okay. नेक्स्ट पार्ट में चलते हैं. PEB strategy. This is where the exam is actually won or lost. Okay. As I said, in the final score, 1 into the PEA plus 3 into the PEB. Okay. So the weightage of PEB is actually 3 times that of PEA. I would expect in the current scheme of things, all questions in PEB will be compulsory. So there's no safety net. And it's unfortunate, yet many students treat PEB like a bonus section. It is not the bonus section, it is the actual section. It is the examination. Okay. अब पीबी के बारे में आते हैं कि कौन से एरिया से कौन से टॉपिक से क्वेश्चंस आते हैं ज्यादा इन पीबी. ओके, सो वील बिगिन विथ माइक्रो इकोनॉमिक्स. Then I'll go into macroeconomics. माइक्रोइकोनॉमिक्स में क्या आता है? मोनोपोली एंड प्राइस डिस्क्रिमिनेशन क्वेश्चंस, मल्टी प्लांट वेरिएंट, थर्ड डिग्री प्राइस डिस्क्रिमिनेशन, मल्टी प्लांट मोनोpolist, थर्ड डिग्री प्राइस डिस्क्रिमिनेशन क्वेश्चंस. Okay. These appear almost every year. This is one of the single most reliable PEB topic, monopoly and price discrimination. Apart from that, I'll go into oligopoly where Cournot and Bertrand equilibria comes for particular problems. Okay. Um, in the recent years, there have been a few adverse selection questions. The Akerlof model of market of lemons, signaling theory, each has appeared with a full 24 to 30 marks questions. Okay. Um, labor supply questions, consumer theory and Pareto optimality, full exchange economy, envy free allocations. These have come in PB. So I'm talking about the PB strategy here. For microeconomics, these are important areas. For macroeconomics, what data from multiple years has confirmed? What they love? Solo every year. The variant changes with tax, with public investment, transition dynamics, zero depreciation, but the topic is non-negotiable, solo growth model. You must be able to derive steady state from scratch, find the golden rule, steady state derivation, find the golden rule, and handle a few modified versions of this. Okay. Second, it's a part of consumer behavior, but they love to give it in macroeconomics. It's intertemporal choice. Okay. The two period savings model, which sometimes they give into three periods. So they love to treat education and then youth and then old age. They earn in only the youth, they spend on education and they spend in old age. Okay. Overlapping generations, human capital investment decisions, these all form a part of these intertemporal choice problems that can come in PEB section. Mundell Fleming open economy questions have featured in the past. So this, by the way, in order of importance: solo growth model, non-negotiable, second most important, third most important. Open economy, macroeconomics, Mundell Fleming, fixed versus flexible exchange rate, comparative static. Okay. ADAS with wage setting. Okay. Solo is the one topic in this examination I can guarantee will appear. every year, different variant, same topic. If you cannot derive the solo steady state in your sleep, that is the first thing that you want to fix. Solo has to be internalized, it has to be a part of your subconscious. That is the level of your preparation that has to go in macroeconomics, first most important area, solo growth model. Okay. So that's about the economics in PB. Now I'll talk about mathematics in PB. Okay. They like to give Rolle's theorem proof, zeros of function, or basically quadratic and cubic and exponential functions. IVT based fixed point theorem. Okay. Right. Sometimes calculation based, sometimes proof based. Prove that for this function, how many roots can you find? So they'll basically tell you to find out for a particular function. Linear algebra. Find out the rank of matrix. Vector spaces. Optimization. Basically linear programming problems. Vertex solution. Okay. Functional equations and polynomial inequalities. Right. So it has often been seen that students know theorems, but they are unable to put that theorem in a particular function when they see fx is equal to something, something, something. Now you apply that theorem and prove the result, and they're not able to do it. Right? ISI expects you to do all this. You should take a look at the solutions that we have already provided for the PB questions. That will give you a hint how to solve these problems. Conceptual understanding is not enough. You need to write, you need to be able to put that theory into practice, into how to solve particular problems. So ISI examiners reward structured thinking. So put this in your head. Let me write this thing down. Sorry. Structured thinking is what you have to think in. Structured thinking, partially correct proof with clean notation. So clean notations and partially correct proof is superior to correct answer without any proof. You need to write the proof. You need to write the working. You need to show the working. Please keep this thing in mind. Okay. So this is what has been seen in multiple times. I'll talk about statistics in PB. Again, they love different kinds of probability questions, which will be very commonsensical. Um, Probability based logical reasoning questions. And what can come is basically probability distribution questions. So these are a few areas that can feature. Okay. So these are the important areas. Now, you remember we started by a question, how many of you are concentrating on the PA part? And I called them type A students. And type B students are the students who have written full PB answers with timed conditions on paper with a pen. And that was, I think, hardly one or two students. And the majority of you said that either I'm C, who is starting out, or I'm A, who are concentrating on the only the PA part. Remember, the final score is 1 into PA plus 3 into PB. Okay. So, what you need to do is you need to become a type B as soon as possible. You need to be able to write proofs from scratch. Basically, apply the theory into practical questions. Okay. Number two that you need to do is, I said solo model is the most important. Practice solo derivations until they are automatic. You should be able to do it in your sleep ultimately. In an examination, you cannot afford to think from first principles. It needs to be muscle memory. Okay. That has to be done. You should have deep specialization in at least micro and macro for PB. No 3 to 4 topics, cold enough to write a full structured answer under pressure. So, deep specialization in important micro and macro topics that I have shared with you. Okay. And very, very important, time management. Okay. 150 shortlisted students, only 60 get in. Top 150 students, out of that, only 60 make it in the merit list. Okay. Every subpart in PB will matter. Every part or subpart in PB will matter. Okay. Type B, become a type B person who'll get into solving PB, writing entire answers. Okay. A type B person, if you practice long enough, will know how long to spend on each part and when to move on. Okay. It's basically 120 minutes is equal to 120 marks. So you'll not spend more than approximately 20 minutes on each question. And if a question has approximately 4 parts, You'll know not to spend more than 5 minutes on each part. So at this juncture, I would like to know, has anyone written a full PB answer under timed conditions yet? किसी ने अभी अपना PB आंसर को टाइम किया है? Just put yes or no in the chat. How many of you have timed your PB? Okay. तो अभी क्या स्ट्रैटेजी होना चाहिए? अभी से लेकर 10th अप्रैल के अंदर अंदर तक, टिल 10th अप्रैल, you can concentrate on topic wise PB. Hold on. 10th अप्रैल तक you can concentrate on topic wise solving. Okay. टॉपिक वाइज सॉल्व करते रहिए एंड फिनिश ऑल द PYQs टॉपिक वाइज. लास्ट 4 वीक्स में क्या करना है? लास्ट 4 वीक्स, विच इज बेसिकली द लास्ट 1 मंथ, 10th अप्रैल टू 9th मई. 10th मई इज योर एक्चुअल एग्जामिनेशन. 10th अप्रैल टू 9th मई क्या करना है? PEA के एरियाज को लॉक कर देना है. ओके. कंज्यूमर थ्योरी, जो भी एरियाज मैंने PA में आपको बोला है वो सारे एरियाज 10th अप्रैल के पहले पहले आपको खत्म कर देना है. नन ऑफ दोज एरियाज कैन बी वीक एरियाज एनी मोर. ओके. एंड इन द लास्ट 4 वीक्स, डू नॉट स्टार्ट न्यू एरियाज और न्यू टॉपिक्स. ओके. डेप्थ is much more important than breadth in the last 1 month. Okay. PB in the last 4 weeks especially. Don't read anymore. मेरे solutions को बस देखिए मत. If you have access to our student portal, you need to write the answers on your own. Get into the habit of writing PB. You should already do it in the last 4 weeks. Before 10th April, you should be in a habit to write PB answers. Write at least one full PB answer per day from the PYQs in the last 4 weeks. So every day, write at least 1 to 2 PB answers. Time yourself. Okay. It should be maximum 25 minutes per question. Do it on paper, not on screen. Take a paper and a pen and write your answer. After writing, compare it with the model solution. Identify exactly where marks could have been lost. One non-negotiable thing that you need to do is you need to know monopoly and Cobb Douglas optimization. These two things cannot be dropped and they have to be maximized before 10th of April. लास्ट 4 वीक्स में टाइम नहीं रहेगा दैट यू गेट इनटू फाउंडेशनल कॉन्सेप्ट्स. अभी किताब पढ़ेंगे, वेरिएंट वर्कआउट करेंगे, नहीं. In your preparation, mathematics has to be done each and every day. It can't be done only once a week. I know many of you are scared of mathematics. It has to be multiple sessions every week starting today. Okay. Calculus and linear algebra are foundational. I have already shared that. Okay. And I hope that your consumer theory and your uncertainty areas are solid. Then please build up adverse selection and signaling on top of that. This is another area which ISI loves to ask. What not to do. Strategy is also about what you do not do. These are decisions that cost students rank ultimately. Don't start a new mathematical concept from scratch in last 2 weeks. It will not help. It will replace time you should spend on deepening what you already know. जो आपको ऑलरेडी पता है उसके नॉलेज को डीपन करिए. कुछ नया मैथमेटिकल कॉन्सेप्ट को लास्ट 2 वीक्स में मत स्टार्ट करिए. डोंट स्पेंड मोर टाइम ऑन पीए देन पीबी. लास्ट 1 month especially, I'll be brutal enough to say going forward, अभी से पीए में ज्यादा स्पेंड मत करिए टाइम. पीबी एंड पीईए दोनों में टाइम स्पेंड करिए. पीए टाइम स्पेंड cannot be more than PB. Okay. PB में चॉइस ऑफ क्वेश्चंस का सोचते हुए मत जाइएगा एग्जामिनेशन में. कोई भी टॉपिक अवॉइड मत करिए. डू नॉट लीव और अवॉइड एनी टॉपिक. अभी आपके पास में बहुत टाइम है. डू नॉट लीव और अवॉइड एनी टॉपिक. लास्ट के 2 वीक्स में मैंने ऐसे ही आपको बोल दिया कुछ भी नया नहीं करना है. राइट. तो प्लीज उससे पहले पहले जस्ट फिनिश ऑफ एवरीथिंग. नंबर 4, पीए के क्वेश्चन को आंसर करिएगा इफ यू आर कंफ्यूज बिटवीन टू चॉइसेस. सो कंफ्यूज बिटवीन टू चॉइसेस, मार्क योर MCQ, टेक दैट चांस. ओके. तो ये हो गया व्हाट नॉट टू डू. Common mistakes that we usually observe every year. आईएसआई को सीयूईटी के जैसे ट्रीट करते हैं स्टूडेंट्स. ISI is not a recall examination. It's not a theoretical examination. It's not a conceptual understanding examination. It is a mathematical rigor examination. ISI is equivalent to mathematical rigor. Okay. You need to write and prove a few things in PEB. You need to derive results. You need to show working. If you have been preparing by reading and understanding, you have been preparing for a different examination. It's not for ISI. You need to use a paper and a pen at all times for the ISI examination. Okay. Mistake number two that people do, misreading the scoring formula. Keep this in your mind, in your subconscious mind. It should just hit it. 1 into PA plus 3 into PB is your actual score. That single line should give you an indication कि PB PA में ज्यादा टाइम मत स्पेंड करिए PB से ज्यादा. PB carries 3 times the weight in the final score than your PA. If your PB is weak, you cannot compensate with PA. The formula makes that impossible. PA अगर एक लेवल तक आपने कर लिया, कट ऑफ आपने रीच कर लिया, PB is what will set you apart. Not writing solutions. एज आई सेड, पेपर एंड पेन लीजिए, सॉल्यूशंस को रीड मत करिए. सॉल्व इट विथ पेपर एंड पेन इन योर ओन हैंड राइटिंग. There is a very specific skill ISI tests in PEB. It is not knowing the answer, it is writing the answer. Okay, clearly, completely in correct mathematical notations. Reading a solution and thinking, yes, I would have done that, is not the same as producing it under examination pressure in 25 minutes. Okay. One is recognizing the answer by reading it, and the other is production. ISI is testing your production capability of answers. ISI mock tests are starting very soon. So number 4, no exam condition practice. Mock test का practice ही नहीं करते हैं students. They are not practicing writing the PEB examination, not practicing the actual examination like a mock test. A student who has never written a 30-mark PEB answer in 25 minutes or under, even if it is solvable in the exam condition, you will not be able to reproduce your knowledge into paper. See, the solution is boring. Write PB answers on paper against the clock before the examination. There is no shortcut. And number 5, students avoid weak areas. प्लीज अंडरस्टैंड, अभी पीबी में कोई ऑप्शन नहीं दे रहे हैं, सारे के सारे क्वेश्चंस अटेम्प्ट करने हैं. सो स्ट्रेटेजिकली अवॉइडिंग अ फ्यू टॉपिक्स इज नॉट पॉसिबल. सारे टॉपिक्स आपको करने पड़ेंगे. राइट. सो that basically gets me to the end of today's session, but I'll close with just a few things, just to show you a few graphics. There are 56 seats that you are competing for. 150 are shortlisted from the PEA. 56 seats, 150 shortlisted from PEA. So data from multiple years of papers tells a consistent story. The story is consumer theory, probability, solo, monopoly is the backbone. PB is 3 times the weight of PA, and it rewards the students who practiced writing rigorous answers, not just the ones who understood the theory. Build the backbone first, add layers, and above everything else, practice PB in writing and not in your head only. And that is the difference between type A and type B. Be the type B that I started off with. Okay. So that gets me to the end of today's session. Um, right now, let's get into answering your questions. Any any questions that I need to answer right now? I'm currently pursuing a BSc in economics. Can you please tell me how can I prepare for this? Partho, you can prepare for these entrance examinations starting from your second year itself. So we do an Eco Foundation, a course wherein we build your foundation. And in the Eco Topper course, we get into more problem solving. So you can start off with the Eco Foundation course, but currently it will be just a very good idea to take a look at the question paper and try to see what kind of a pattern are you being able to observe here. Okay. Um, you can take a look at that. I think that brings us to the end of the session today. In order to reach out and to get more information about our courses, we'll be very happy to guide you. Just we'll try to pin a comment in the live session just to share about how to get in touch with us and to know more about the courses. I'll also put in a WhatsApp message. And just give me a moment. I can just put in a WhatsApp message. You can reach out to us with WhatsApp. Just so I'm just telling the yeah. So we have been able to pin the message of WhatsApp. So you can use that link and get your queries solved. Thank you so much, everyone, for being a part of the session for today. And I hope that you enjoyed the session as much as I did. In case you have any more doubts, we are here to hear from you. Okay. Thank you so much and all the best for your ISI.